Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I want to share with you my TBR for the Around the World in 80 Days Readathon. I'm so excited for this readathon. It's inspired by Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne, and it's such a fun classic full of adventure and culture and travel, and this readathon really gives you the opportunity to read books set in different countries, and each of those countries are countries that Phileas Fogg visits in Around the World in 80 Days. And so this TBR video is me just sharing what I want to read for each country. I'll also insert the graphic here that Holly designed, and this graphic basically has the countries in the order that Phileas Fogg visits from, I think it's from left to right and then the next row. And so I'm going to try to read each book in the correct order. I'm going to start with England and then finish off with Ireland. There is just one book that is really, really big and I'm going to be spreading it out. But the rest of them I want to try and read in the order of the countries and the order that Phileas Fogg visited them. So without further rambling, the first country is England. And for England, I would like to read My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. England as well as the United States are very, very common settings for books. So there will 100% be other books that I read throughout these next couple of months that are set in England and the United States. But for the readathon in particular, I am going to be counting this book for England. And this one is a Gothic thriller and I am really, really looking forward to reading it. I really need to read another Daphne du Maurier. I'm just so excited to jump into this book, and I'm pretty sure this one is set in Cornwall, which is one of my favorite settings within England, so really looking forward to this one. The next country that Phileas Fogg visits is France, and so for France, I plan on reading Les Mis, and this one is going to be the one that I spread out from January 11th to the end of March, and I am buddy reading this as well, so it's going to be a really fun experience. I'm hoping. This is huge, but it is set in France. I think this is a quintessential French classic and looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. After France comes Italy, and this one I'm actually having a bit of trouble picking a book for, and I do have 3 books here that are set in Italy, and I need your help to choose because they're all quite long. They're all almost 500 pages or just over 500 pages, and I really want to enjoy the one that I read. So if any of you have read any of these books, please let me know what your thoughts were. The first one here is an ancient historical fiction, and that is The Mistress of Rome by Kate Quinn. And this is the first in, I think, a series. So it's the first book in the Rome novels series. And I don't know much about it. I have only read one Kate Quinn before, and I overall enjoyed it, but I'm just not sure how this one would go if I were to read it. If you've read it and enjoyed it, please do let me know. And then the other 2 are also set in Italy, but they're both around World War II. And the first one is Beneath a Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. This one I have seen very mixed reviews for. Some people say that the writing is really dry. Some people say that the storytelling is great. I honestly have no idea what to expect from it. If you've read this, let me know. And then the other one is Eternal by Lisa Scottoline. And this one starts off when Mussolini is rising to power in Italy, and then the Second World War eventually begins, and it follows a group of young people, and I think there's like a love triangle, so not sure if this one is for me, but maybe you guys can convince me. So like I said, I don't know which to choose between either The Mistress of Rome by Kate Quinn or Beneath a Scarlet Sky or Eternal, so help me choose because I don't know which one to read. After Italy, Phileas Fogg visits Egypt, and so for Egypt, I'd like to read Lion in the Valley by Elizabeth Peters. This was on my Cloak and Dagger Christmas TBR, but I did not get to it, so I really, really want to get back into the Amelia Peabody series. It's a lot of fun, very light and just fun, cozy mystery, lots of banter between Amelia and her husband. It's just such a fun ride. And then after Egypt comes Yemen, and I could not find a book that interests me personally for Yemen, so I'm just going to count Around the World in 80 Days for Yemen. It counts. You can technically read this book and you cover every single country. So I'm counting this for Yemen. The next country is India, and for India, I'd like to read Murder in Old Bombay, and this one is also one that I wanted to read for Cloak and Dagger Christmas and didn't get to it. This one I heard is really, really fun and has a lot of Indian culture, so I'm really looking forward to it. These next countries, I don't actually have books that are set in them, and I don't want to be buying any books in the next few months, so I had to find books that they have at the library. And for the next country, which is Singapore, my library has the Frangipani Tree Mystery, and this one is set in 1930s Singapore. And I've heard it's a really fun, cozy mystery, so I'm really looking forward to it. And after Singapore, we have China. And for China, I'd like to read Snowflower and The Secret Fan. And this is historical fiction. I'm just not sure what time period it's set in, but I've heard great things about this as well. And then after China is Japan, and for this one, I think I'm going to read Sweet Bean Paste. And I don't know too much about this other than it's short, so it should be a fairly quick read. And it has to do with friendship, and I heard it's just very comforting and sweet, and I think this is going to be a great one. And then after Japan is the United States. And I have a couple here. I'm not quite sure which one to pick. The first one is The Moonlight School by Suzanne Woods Fisher. This one is set in Kentucky, so set in America. And then the other one that I think I'm leaning more towards is Christy by Catherine Marshall. So this is probably what I'm going to end up reading, but this one is set in the Smoky Mountains, and I've heard nothing but praise for it. I did grow up watching the old movies, but I never read the book, and I have had so many people recommend this book, so I think this is going to be a great one. It's also a classic, and looking forward to it. And the very last country that Phileas Fogg visits is Ireland before he arrives back home. And for Ireland, I accidentally left the book on the shelf. But for Ireland, I plan on reading A Dance in Donegal, and this is a book that I think I'm gonna love. I'm hoping I'm gonna love. This one is one of my friend Amanda's favorites, and I also won this in one of Amanda's giveaways, which is also very, very fun. So this is one of the few books that I have that is set in Ireland, and this one is definitely gonna happen. So this is the very last book that I plan on reading for the readathon. All right, so this is the pile, but those three here, I really need help picking. I'm not sure which one to read. I think I'm personally leaning more towards Beneath the Scarlet Sky, but I'm just not quite sure. So let me know which one you think I should read for Italy. But that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you plan on participating in the readathon. Even if you only end up reading one book from the list of countries, that's completely okay. Just let me know if you plan on traveling along with us and Phileas Fogg, and I am just so excited. I think it's going to be such a fun readathon. But like I said, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.